right, so Shalom family, welcome back to another Sound Sabbath class. And for this late afternoon's lesson, we're going to get into understand first and then rebuke. Okay, understand first and then rebuke. Why? Because this is a common problem. Many people, they don't try to inquire and get all the information needed to deal with the matter, but yet and still they already start forming strong conclusions or strong biases toward the situation or toward an individual or individuals. Sometimes individuals, sometimes it's towards a body, camp, congregation. It can depend, or a family, just based upon things that you may have heard, or things you thought you may have seen. But we have so many different times where misunderstandings come about, and we don't always do our due diligence to get to the root of the matter. Okay, so let's get Ecclesiasticus, or also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 11, and let's read verse 7. Let me get the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11, and we are going to read verse 7. Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11 and verse 7, and it reads, "Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke." So now, first thing opens up, it says, blame not. Now, of course, not saying you can never blame somebody or something, but it says, before you go there, there's a prerequisite. The first thing you have to do before you can start blaming is you need to examine the truth. Okay, because first, let's use the Strong's, not the Strong's Concordance at this time, but dictionary.com. We'll look at blame. Okay, what does blame mean? Blame, verb, to hold responsible, find fault with, censure, to place the responsibility for a fault or a error upon. So you have that. Before you start to hold somebody responsible for something, you need to make sure they truly the ones responsible for this. Did this person truly say this? Did this person truly do this? So, well, I thought I heard it, but did you hear correct? Because you have that in various instances. So these things happen. You can have it to where you might a lot of things happen by chance. You can tell somebody, hey, yeah, hold the door, and somebody and come back and say, hey, he called you a whore. It's just, what? That's what I heard. Like, no, man, what you mean? Why would I say that? Man, I'm just saying, that's what it sounded like you said. I'm like, it sounded like I said that, but that wasn't what I said. And instead of telling that person that way, why it would be best or wisest to verify if that was in fact what was said. Because what you heard may not have been truly what was actually stated. You heard something that sounded similar, but yet wasn't the very thing that was stated. There's many times that happens. You have people swear up and down, I heard what you said. You said this. I ain't say that, So, you said we was gonna meet up on the 25th. No, I didn't say that. I said if you go in the fridge and pass me the fish. I was hungry. I said nothing about no date to do nothing. Because if I said that, I would have followed up with this. No, because I was talking to you earlier. Remember the conversation we had? I was going to ask you when we was going to go handle this business. And then that time you said 25th. No, actually go in the fridge. Because then, when you left out, why did I ask Maybelline over there to go in the fridge and pass what you didn't pass me the first time? So you have that. Things that sounded similar. And some of you have had those various experiences. Some of you have friends or family members, various loved ones or co-worker that they are key for that being a situation. Thought they heard something, swore up and down, because many of us, we swear up and down in terms of what we saw, what we, perceived, and we heard. When you got to understand, we we think it's adequate for us to judge based upon what we thought we saw, heard, what so have you, even things we think we smell, but it doesn't mean those things are always accurate. It's not always accurate. And you have to work to really humble yourself to say, hey, I may be wrong. Let me check. I could get this wrong. Let me verify if this was even the case or situation, because it may not have been. Instead of me trusting in my senses so much, everyone says they have good discernment. I got some good discernment. I know. Best believe I know. I for sure. And you may not know at all. You may not that be discerned in that situation. So your discernment isn't necessarily a foolproof method for distinguishing good and evil. So your discernment is there to work as a gauge, a filter, but you still have to go through the process. Like, we couldn't just, all right, well, this person did it. My discernment is saying this person guilty. No, I can't do that, because my discernment could be wrong. I have to actually investigate, explore, discover. I got to go through the process. So lest I be wrong and end up in a worse situation, and I condemn the innocent and set free and pardon the guilty. So now, blame also gives us, because again, when a hold someone responsible, find fault with, or replace the responsibility for something on somebody, it could be the wrong person. Now, the other part, it says, now, an act of attributing fault, censure, or reproof, responsibility for anything deserving censure. So blame not. Don't place the responsibility or fault with someone before what? Before thou hast examined the truth. What does it mean to examine? Does that assume? Can I just guess or just feel? Let's see. Examine. To inspect or scrutinize carefully. So I'm not just scrutinizing. I have to carefully dig into this. Our people like to be surface level investigators. They like to, man, I heard on the street, word on the street is, I found out, so-and-so said this. Well, did you verify it with so-and-so? Did you check? Were there any evidence brought forth? Did you get the other side of the story? I mean, how much did you check? So how much did you inspect or scrutinize these things before you just took it and ran with it? So deal with that. To observe, test, or investigate a person's body or any part of it, especially in order to evaluate general health or determine the cause of illness. To inquire into or investigate. So that's a big part. You examine something. I'm doing an investigation. You hear all the time, investigation, there's a process with that. It's not just something, all right, I investigate, I called, that was it. Nah, I got to go through some channels. There's a filtration process to see, okay, was this case? Or what was said here? What was done here? Because I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. So now, let's go back. So it says in Sirach 11:7, blame not before thou hast examined the truth, to find out what the facts of the matter of. Then it says, understand first and then rebuke, because there are times rebuke is not always necessary. If you get the understanding, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And there's a variety of applications that we're going to get into that, man, this applies to, because it's lacking. And then it leads to problems in verse 8. It says, answer not before thou hast heard the cause. You ready to give an answer? I already got my conclusion. You ain't even seen all the evidence. I seen enough. I heard enough. What more do I need to hear? Guilty. So you ain't even looked at the evidence. All you heard is she said this, he said that. Good enough for me. He looked guilty. She looked guilty. No, you can't just roll with that. Can't be. Imagine if the Most High did that to everybody. You just look wicked. You look like you ain't gonna repent. Nope, no chance for you. So, nope. Nah, it wouldn't be just. Wouldn't be fair. Wouldn't be righteous. So, Most High ain't do it. Most High, put it this way: the Most High knows us, right? His creation. Everyone can generally agree with that, right? Most High knows us. Yet and still, even though He knows us, and He knows past, present, future, He opened all those doors, right? He knows all of that. Yet and still, He allows everything to play out and us to go through this experience called life. He didn't just, all right, you know what? Since I already know all things and I created you, we just gonna have y'all go over there. Y'all go over there, knock this out the way. Y'all like a fire, because y'all wicked. Y'all just ain't gonna do right. That's the reality, okay? Ask me, I know. Y'all gonna get this because y'all gonna do right. Ask me, I know. And we just gonna do that, all right? And that's it. We'll be done with it. So He could have done that from the beginning. Why not? Because people would argue on both sides. Wait, I ain't even do nothing yet, so I would have done all these things. And yeah, you would have done it. Man. Other people, nah, that ain't fair, because how you know I was going to do all this? You already charging me for it. Because I already know. No, that ain't just. That ain't right. Spirits in tumult. And the Most High, Him understanding and knowing, moving in wisdom, I'm going to give everybody a chance. Give everybody a chance, get everyone an opportunity to prove themselves and how they would operate so that they have this life as a record for them or against them on, hey, either, see, told you would have got over these hurdles. You would have, bumped your head, but overall, you would have shown a track record worthy of eternal life. And the same on the flip side. See, I see people, no matter how many opportunities they got, they're going to keep doing wrong. Keep doing wrong. Keep doing wrong. That's why judgment, lake of fire. So, Most High lets those things come to a head. And sometimes we have to, oftentimes, we have to adopt the same mindset. Okay, let me really see. Because even the scripture teaches us with, hey, some people send the things, they go before them unto judgment. Others, man, they follow after. Some people, you can get good idea based upon your conversation with them, how they move, how they deal, and okay, things are probably leaning this way, but I still need to button it up and make sure everything is right. Okay, cool. Then it's case closed. But I can't just let my assumption of discernment be the beginning, midst, and end of the matter. That's just the reality. So that's why I say, answer not before thou hast heard the cause. In verse 8, Sirach 11:8, answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. Because if you actually hear the matter out, you can get the information that you're looking for to substantiate for or against. You can have that. So, and if you interrupt some people, hey, yeah, I would have said I was getting to that, but you didn't allow me to get to that because you already jumped to this. Our people do that all the time. And it's not supposed to be like this. Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 19, verse 18. Let's get the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, and let's read verse 18. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19 and verse 18. And it reads, and the judges shall make diligent inquisition, and behold. So now here's key part. as a judge, and even the scriptures deal with that as a people, we're supposed to be judges of the earth. And that's what we're striving to become, fighting to prove ourselves and obtaining righteousness now so the Most High sees we're worthy of that. We've already been in practice of it. But even then, with us being judges, and whether you have a formal office or not, you're called to judge matters. Everything is not a matter of formal counsel or formal judgment. There are things, something happens, you have the right to step in and judge the matter appropriately. And then if it's, hey, this is weightier above my pay grade, I need to take it to someone greater, a greater leader than myself, or someone more knowledgeable or wiser than myself to deal with the matter, lest I give the wrong judgment. So, but everything I do made, diligent inquisition. Diligent. That's another thing. What is diligent inquisition? What is diligent? Gotta be diligent. Diligent. Constant in effort to accomplish something. Attentive and persistent in doing anything. Done, this is the key one, done or pursued with persevering attention. Your attention is focused on getting to these things. And here's another one. It's a big one too. Careful in preserving and carrying out tasks or duties. Carried out with care and perseverance. Diligent work. That's what the Most High wants it to. I need you to handle this with care. Okay? Care. Make sure you persevering and carrying out your tasks and duties, and you just, handle this with the utmost care and consistency. That's what the Most High looking for. Diligent inquisition. What's inquisition? Inquisition, an official investigation, especially one of a political or religious nature, characterized by lack of regard for individual rights, prejudice on the part of the examiners, and recklessly cruel punishments. Big one. So, any harsh, difficult, or prolonged questioning, because that's it. Sometimes, oftentimes, it's not fun for any party involved or enjoyable. I'll be rather doing many things. But in order to bring forth a just resolution, not just to knock it out of the way, knock it out of the park, but no, to bring forth a just resolution, I have to make diligent inquiry. That involves prolonged questioning or asking difficult questions or harsh questions to try to get an understanding of, okay, now with that being said, then now this must be done. Knowing that the information presented and how it's presented can change how things may proceed. So versus this being said or that being said. That's even why in 18, why it even gets to other things that are very important with so many situations. 18, and the judges shall make diligent inquisition, and behold, if the witness be a false witness, and have testified falsely against his brother, because people do that. They lie. False witness, they lie on something that they said that they saw or thought they saw that was not true. So, and setting someone else up for failure, because then now this person's going to be labeled as these things, and this now can affect the course of their life, the pattern, or their judgment is so severe. Not only does it tarnish their name, but can cost them their life or livelihood, depending on the judgment, their reputation, a number of things. And that's why 19 is so heavy. Then shall ye do unto him as he had thought to have done unto his brother, so that thou put the evil away from among you. Because you bring railing accusations, those things that, okay, whatever the fallout of what that would have been now has to fall to you. So even unto death, that if these things were so bad that it would have got this person put to death, now you have to be put to death because you was going to let that person take that punishment. Now you got to take that. That's on you now. Or if this would have called this person to be incarcerated, now you got to take that. You got to be incarcerated because you're going to allow this person to suffer for those things behind your lies or your deceptions. That's the problem. We're not supposed to righteously operate that way. It's not right. So Most High doesn't want that. So that's a big thing, because no one wants to be in a situation where they feel like, man, they're not understood, they're not being heard. So person receiving your words or actually isn't picking up on them the way you trying to put them down, and it's like, man, I'm trying to get you. Then it's times that as a result you might get scolded, chastened, rebuked due to, again, what someone thought they heard, thought they saw, things of that nature, when that wasn't the case. And it can be difficult, especially when you're dealing with people that lack empathy, that lack understanding, to be able to see that, okay, dang, maybe we got it wrong, we misheard, or probably our fault. So didn't mean that, Instead of pushing the issue, no, you did this, no, you said that, no, you guilty. It's like, man, where is this coming from? And that leads to other than, let's get Sirach 3 and 24. Book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 3, and let's read verse 24. Book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 3, and verse 24. And it reads, "For many," not a couple, not a few, not some, but many are what? Are deceived, tricked, bamboozled, beguiled, hoodwinked by what? By their own vain opinion. Their own vain opinion. And an evil suspicion, them evil suspicions get up there. And an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment. This is big. So, because it's not something that is not widespread, it's rampant. Guarantee this is something you probably see or deal with, man, on a monthly basis, if not weekly. Just turn on your TV, turn on social media, it's there. So, where many are deceived by their own vain opinion. It has you locked into something that, man, you holding that too hard. You need to let loose so you can really see the matter. Nope, I'm sticking with it, and okay. So, stuck with your own vain or worthless opinion, worthless viewpoint or perspective. So not able to reason or deal with, okay, you need to open your mind to these other possibilities or perspectives or viewpoints. So, but because of where you at, this is now, you're feeling various ways, and you hear various things. So, and you see various things. You see that at times, again, someone may not need to necessarily be rebuked for this. They may still need to be corrected, but it doesn't mean, or reproved, rather. So, over rebuke, because it doesn't mean that they need a sharp correction. this person may not have been aware. And we think sometimes we move as if everybody had the same upbringing and training as what you may have had. And you think just because you know that, it may be some select people in your inner circle or that you associate with, and you can assume everybody should have that. And when some people, some people don't have that knowledge. So even if some people certain things they should have, doesn't mean that they will have it. And also understanding in our business, in the Most High, been in the ministry, you're dealing with a nation of people that are lost, confused, haven't been brought up in thus saith the Lord. And even seeing over time, culture, it's like culture, just the culture of the world, it has become more morally and civilly tainted and defiled. Not as just and upright as things were 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. So it has fallen further and further away. Like the scripture did with, the love of many shall wax cold. There's a lack of love and empathy. That's why a lot of times there's not a certain level of understanding there, because that level of empathy, care, and concern is not there. So it's not there the way that it should be. Let me get Tobit 4 and 15. Let's get the book of Tobit, chapter 4, and let's read verse 15. The book of Tobit, chapter 4, and verse 15, and it reads, do that to no man which thou hatest. Many times there's things that you know for sure you would hate for someone to do to you. You would hate for someone to do to you, but you would do it to someone else. No problem. And yet you don't consider that you do evil. You don't consider that's an issue. That the very thing that you're doing to this person or have done to this person or these people is the thing you hate and would hate for someone to do to you. You would allow, without asking or inquiring, you'll drag someone else's name through the mud, but let it be your name being dragged through the mud. It's like, hold on, why ain't nobody asked me? Why ain't they checked? But it was fine when it was so-and-so's name. Oh yeah, they probably did it. I don't know, sure. Then when it's you, how come nobody asked me? How come nobody checked in? How nobody, no, that ain't right. It's because now the shoe's on the other foot. And it don't fit the way you want. This is uncomfortable. So justice isn't being served the way it should. But you have to have that same energy as it pertains to someone else. Why? Get Galatians chapter 6 and verse 1. It's one that just came to mind. Let's get the book of Galatians chapter 6 and verse 1. Galatians chapter 6 and verse 1, if it reads, brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, if you have a brother or sister that be overtaken in a fault, because it's not just that they're going through it, which, yeah, you want to be there too, but also if it's a situation where you have it to where it's a lot for them. Overtaken, man, I'm in over my head. I'm succumbing to my circumstance or to my situation or to my fault. So, or this has gotten the better of me. I fell short in this. I should have maintained, but I fell short. If that happens, it says, ye which are spiritual, supposed to be those that are spiritually righteous, says what? Restore such an one in the spirit of meekness. You're supposed to restore that individual. So now, hold that right there. Let's hold that. Restore. restoration. What does that look like? If I'm going to restore a couch that's messed up, it's been damaged, is it just, all right, put some tape over it, or I just paint it? No. Let's take a car been rusted out. Is it just, I just slap some paint on and it's good? No. It's literally a process. It's a process. It's not a light switch. Let's define process. We need to get that too. Get past this ad. There's a process. Let's get process from dictionary.com. Listen to this. Process. A systemic series of actions directed to some end. Systemic series of actions. This, then this, then this, then this. A series of actions. So, a continuous action, operation, or series of changes taking place in a definite manner. Think about that. So it's not a quick fix. It's not a light switch. It's not just one and done. There's steps to this. There's levels to this. It's the same thing. Same thing we've been dealing with. Examining the matter, examining the truth. It's a process. Many people don't want to go through the process. And if you don't want to go through the process, you should do what? Keep your mouth closed. Or keep your fingers back. Let me not speak on it. Because I don't want to go through the process of trying to find out the truth of the matter. I don't want to investigate the situation. You can't just rely on he say, she say, they said, I heard. It's like, look, let me call up this brother, ask them these questions. Let me call up this sister, ask them a question. Let me call these individuals, ask them these questions so I can get a good understanding. So that way I can make a sound judgment, a sound decision regarding this. That's the way to do it. And if you're a brother or sister that does that, you do well. And if you don't do that, you do well if you don't speak on it. Hey, I don't mess with it. I just leave that there, mind my business. Because I haven't done that. So I can't really speak on that. And you got to handle things appropriately. So, hey, man, what do you think for this? Like, look, I haven't talked to that person. So I can't really speak on it. Yeah, but I'm just saying, well, I mean, at the end of the day, I hear you, but I got to leave that where it's at because I haven't been there in that regard. I haven't checked that out, so I can't really speak on that. But, I mean, I hear you. I mean, keep in mind, but I can't really, form too much conclude, speak on it. Well, I'm just saying it just ain't right. And, again, I hear you, but I can't speak on it because I haven't been in that position. I don't know all the facts and information, so I'm gonna leave it at that, and we can get on. Let's talk about these other things now, and we can leave that where it's at, and you can maybe talk to them individuals more about that are involved with that. I'm sure they might be willing to share their side of the story, get things straight with you. You got to choose up where you stand. You gonna do your diligent inquisition, you gonna shut up about it. You got to make a choice. So you got to make a choice. So that way you don't offend and you don't put yourself in a place, because now you can end up being in a problem of either being a talebearer, gossiper, or a variety of things because you're not handling things correctly. So it's a problem, or you don't want no problems. Now, as dealing with, even as it says in Galatians chapter 6 and verse 1, reading it from top again. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in fault, you which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Because the same thing you throwing this other person under the bus for doing and that they did so bad, you might find yourself in the same situation. On the other side of the fence, like, dang, how did I get over here? Yeah, now it's your turn. And the Most High may just very well set things up that the same lack of empathy, remorse, understanding that you had to that brother, that's to the situation is, that's what's going to come your way. People going to like that same thing as you. And they turn around, see? You didn't say it, see? You don't have that. Oh, it's in verse 2. Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. Bear one another's burdens. Try to be there to support one another. There's a different mindset. So, there's a different mindset. Supposed to have care for one another. As it says in 1 Corinthians 12, 25 to 26. We can get that real quick. So, let me get that. What I say 1 Corinthians. Did I say 1 Corinthians? Did I say? Let me see. I forgot that fast. Look at me. So, 1 Corinthians 12, 25, 26. There we go. 1 Corinthians chapter 12. Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 25 and verse 26. It says that there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care one for another. Whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it. Or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it. You should have the same love and concern for everyone. They doing bad, we're affected by that. We're doing bad to a degree. So, and if they're having success, things are going well, then we're doing well. We're doing good, again, to a degree. So, and we should rejoice and be happy in that situation. That's how one should be, okay? That's how one should be. But now, let's even see, because again, and what we think we may know on something can be very, very much so wrong. Let's get around 37 and 14, Sirach, or Ecclesiastes 37 and 14. So we're gonna get that. So, wouldn't it be nice if we were older? Let's get, all right. Sirach 37 and 14. So, let's get that. It says, for a man's mind is sometimes wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above in a high tower. Why would I say that? Because, as they say, your mind can play tricks on you. Sometimes certain words or certain things you could be more sensitive to or feel like are directed at you just simply based upon the thoughts of your mind at the time, what frame of mindset that you're in. And you can feel as if you're being singled out for something that you're not being singled out for or about. It's not even about you. But because of where you're at, you think it's about you. You think, man, this person targeting me, or dang, somebody watching me, or they know. And it may not be that at all. But there is someone that is watching that does know, the Most High God and his angels, both the good and the bad. So, hey, the spirits are watching you. They know. And Most High God may allow things to play out to where, all right, yeah, you hear those words and it pricked your spirit. Even though the person had no idea what it was you were going through, but the Most High knew. He said, all right, I'm going to have you there at that time, and they're going to say this. That's going to resonate with you, because that's what you needed to hear. So it's like that. But it doesn't mean it was personal, that person had anything against you or that they knew. But just be how the Most High allows the Spirit to move. And that was it. So, and You you have that. So you have people that, and that's how people they hold things in, or they can take things to a whole different place and come out of the blue because they hear something. Man, the things people, man, they fail to realize, and then someone else they hear that they in class sitting or listening like you may be, and they that and in their mind they're like, oh, he calling me a failure. Oh, he think I ain't good enough. And then afterwards they go, hey, oh, so you think I'm a failure? Like, what you mean? I ain't never seen you. Well, you think glad people fail to realize, and it wasn't directed at you. So that you wasn't even a thought on my mind. So I was just speaking in general. So you have that, and then it's all right, my bad, and then sometimes they, all right, mistaken, I'm good. Other times it's like, in the moment, but I'm iffy on you now. I don't know. Side eye, I'll be watching just to see, how things flow. I don't know. Maybe this person don't like me. Maybe they iffy, or maybe they wishy-washy. You have that. That's why, good man, back to Sirach 37:14, for a man's mind is sometimes one to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above and in high tower. Because you have 7 watchmen, there's a complete number of people looking out, but they're looking out in different directions. And they're seeing all different types of things. Which, man, I seen this over there. I saw this over there. I saw this. And you trying to process everything at once. That's tough. And especially in a high tower, they see a lot. But then that tower get too high, certain things I don't see too well. I thought I saw this, but upon closer investigation on the ground, it was just this. All right, my bad. You have that. Think about how many things you probably seen from a distance that looked one way. You got up on it. Oh, wait, yeah. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, that wasn't that. I thought it was this. It's like that even in life with conversation and situation. Things you hear that, yeah, you thought it was this at first, but then you seen and, oh, snap. All right, yeah, that wasn't the case. And you have a variety of things, different relationships. You have that with, again, all right, let's take another scenario. Let's deal with this scenario. Because this is one that I use with brothers to understand empathy. Sometimes we are enforcers of the law to a fault. So, and we can lack understanding or empathy in a situation or patience to really understand, okay, more and then give a answer or question in regards to that answer. So let's say someone, all right, a commenter, let's just say, okay, fringes. Okay, fringes and ribbon of blue. You might see someone coming to class or a family coming to class, and some of them may be lacking. So, and some people might work more like police and quick, hey, well, friend of ribbon blue, hey, that's off, bro, that's off, sis, and without realizing that, I'm pretty sure they probably realized that by now or saw that. Why didn't they correct it? Well, perspective. I could say, okay, it's the law, one should know and follow suit, generally speaking. But also understanding with fringes, ribbon of blue, fringes and ribbon of blue cost money. They both cost money. Someone has a larger family, it's going to cost more money. But even if someone has a smaller family, there's still a question, do they have the money? Furthermore, putting them on takes skill and time. Someone have the skill to put them on. And then does someone have the time? Especially if someone has a large family. So, them lacking in that regard, that brother, sister, or that family, may not be because I don't care, I don't want to be righteous, I'm just moving in a wicked mindset or spirit, but rather from a economic standpoint, I don't have the money, and I've worn the clothing that I've had, and haven't had time to wash more appropriate clothing. Understandable. Okay. Someone who I don't have the money to get these things now because I gotta get a whole wardrobe change, and I've only done one shirt. I can't wear that same shirt every day. No, you gotta wear every day, every day. No, no. Well, it's the law, man. There's many laws. There's many things to learn. You're not gonna learn all the laws in a day, week, or a month, or even a year. Repentance is a process. Some people can move faster through that process. Others may not be able to move as fast. There's grace and mercy from the Most High through that process. Remember, the Pharisees and Sadducees were friends. It doesn't mean they was righteous. Gang of other stuff they wasn't doing. And friendship is not something that is immediately worthy of death. Versus, yeah, working on the Sabbath, that's a weightier thing. So breaking that is a weightier thing. Okay, let's deal with the weightier things. We'll work with you on that. Matter of fact, we should be ones, again, helping bear those burdens. So instead, changing the dynamic of the conversation. Hey, bro, I saw you didn't have your friend. Man, do you need help? Man, yeah, man, I ain't had money, man. I was afraid to ask. Nah, it's all right. Don't trip, man. We got some extras at the house. I got you. Handle it better. Now you gained a brother. Versus you coming off and it's man, where your fringes at? Oh, no, that's the problem, man. Go home. It's like, man, I ain't even had the money. Like, brother may not come back. Brother's feelings may be hurt. Oh, brother's in his feelings. People have feelings. Most High has feelings. Of course we have feelings. Not a problem. My apologies. Came off kind of harshly. I was being too much of a police officer. I should have worked more like the FBI. Should have opened up investigation and dealt a little better. That's my fault. I apologize. I'm man enough or adult enough to be able to accept that I was wrong and how I handled that or dealt with that. So can you forgive me? And hopefully we can move better going forward. That's important. Things to help strengthen the community and build bonds. Got you. Or you have situations, again, could be sister and her family. You see, she might be single, got 3-4 kids. Hey, sis, see, man, all your kids ain't got Brenda Ribbon and Blue. It's just, and sometimes people may not always open up in that situation. Sometimes they may hold it in, like, because they know their situation, but you don't know. You got to ask. You got to take on a different mind, different vibe, and, hey, sis, may I talk to you? Yeah, sure, brother. Hey, sis, I've seen you, coming for a while, and I see, man, you don't always wear your fringes and ribbon blue all the time, and sometimes you're kicking, but a lot of times they don't, like, what's going on? Talk to me. Oh, well, it just, with work and everything, it's just hard to find the time to, put them on everything, and it's a lot, brother. I'm swamped, okay, got you. Well, now I'm aware, because before I wasn't aware, that's why I asked. Okay, look, let's set it up. My wife, I'll ask my wife if she has time to, so if you, I hope she be willing, be in the right spirit of it, which I'm pretty sure she would be, but I just want to make sure I don't put too much on her, given everything she got going on, but get with her, ask my wife, she should have that time. If not, I'll ask her to double check to see how much of a load she can take on, or see a few of these sisters that, might be able to help. Put in the group chat or sister chat, or I'll reach out to a few who I know are diligent or may have the time to see if we can help in that area with getting you more squared away. If it's a time thing, you gain a sister that way. She gonna feel like, man, brother sister was understanding, empathetic. They tried they saw a problem and tried to offer a solution. That's why I do it. Problem, solution, paradigm, expectation versus reality. You gotta look at all those things, because sometimes you yeah, you can gain the sheep, but you have to remember the things to keep the sheep. Make sure that their needs are taken care of. Make sure and you're doing it in a way that shows patience and empathy, care and concern, not in a way that is demeaning, harsh, insulting, to their intelligence or their situation that, nah, you'll scare them away, and they'll leave. I just felt uncomfortable there. Man, I didn't feel like anyone was looking out for me. And it's these things that destroy, the nation. But if you just, again, make some of these changes, you can better the situation. And we do it. It trickles down to other things, even our relationship with our kids. Everything man, they need help with certain things. You ready to bark down and destroy, like, man, you don't know to figure this out, man. Hey, look, they learning. You know it. They don't know it. Night and day situation. You can have, there's even times where, with my kids, I had them in swim lessons. You know how to swim? Yeah. You know how to teach? Yeah, I'm a pretty good teacher. Why wouldn't you teach them how to swim? Because I know, me as their parent, I'm not going to have the same level of empathy and patience with them in that earlier stage as someone outside would. I'm naturally going to have more like, come on, get it, this way. And it may break them in a way that is not conducive for their growth. Therefore, I paid for someone else to teach. I told them I'll take over after that. That way, you would have already learned, gotten your feet wet through the way that works best for you, not what's most convenient for me. Because I'm not the one that has to learn. You are. So I have to create an environment that is most conducive for your learning. Make sense? I mean, yeah. Should. You have to think that way. And you may not always think that way initially or in the situation. It's the same with marriage. Let's get Tobit, chapter 2, verse 9 through 14, and then 3 and 1. Let's get the book of Tobit. Let's get this example. Book of Tobit, chapter 2. Let's read verse 9 to 14, and then we're going to get 3 and 1. Book of Tobit, chapter 2, and verse 9. The same night also I returned from the burial and slept by the wall of my courtyard, being polluted, and my face was uncovered. So you had Tobit. This was the night of the Feast of Pentecost, as you read in chapter 2 and verse 1. And he slept by the wall outside of his courtyard because he was polluted, because he touched a dead body. He did not want to go into his home and with the feast and everything in that defiled state. So, which was of his choice in that situation per his zeal for the law, not necessarily something by commandment. So, but understanding that, man, I'm unclean, touching dead body. I don't want to go, at my house like that, and on the feast and the food, everything, man. I'll stay out here. It's fine. So, that's fine. But don't want anyone get the wrong idea, feel like that's law. They have to do that in that way as he did. It's not the case. So, but now, verse 10, and I knew not that there were sparrows in the wall. That, hey, sitting by his courtyard, but there were sparrows in the holes of, his home, like where more than likely where gutter water drains out, and they was, nesting in there. So, and mine eyes being open, the sparrows meted warm dung into my eyes, and a whiteness came in my eyes. So he became blind as a result, sitting up and, like, man, his eyes open, and then just happened to look up at the last minute, and it's, oh, dang, oh, my golly, oh, man, I can't see. Oh, man, I can't, oh, man, like, that moment, life-changing moment. So, and I went to the physicians, but they helped me not. Moreover, Achiacarus did nourish me until I went to Elimias. So you had that situation. Man, I tried to get help. Like, man, doc, anything you can do for this? And sorry, Mr. Tobit, I'm looking, and the things we have, I mean, nothing we have here is available to help relieve you of this ailment. There's nothing we can do for you. Man, and this is a process of time, because he went physicians, tried different people. No one can help him. So 11, and my wife Anna did take women's works to do. So now time is going on, and like, man, baby, I thought I could heal from this and go back to work, get a job, but man, the doctors can't heal me. So now it's like, we still need funds, like, so, well, all right, babe, I guess I gotta go to work now. Prime example of a Proverbs 31 woman. Anna was leading in that regard, taking up woman's works to do for the sake of her family. That's love. That's what you want. You want to make sure, if you're a woman, to be that type of woman. If you're a man, that's the type of woman you want to have. So, and I hope you have that if you're with someone now. So that's what you want. Because that's till, hey, life or death, health and sickness, through poverty and riches, that's what marriage is about. Coming together through the good and the bad times. You're going to have that. So it's not 50-50 thing. It might be 80-20, 70-30, 40-60. It can change. Hopefully math is all right with all that. But it can change. And you have to be open to, hey, what's now may not be what's forever. You can have a lot of money, lose a lot of money. So have a great job, lose a great job. Things happen, but yet and still we roll with the punch and we adapt. 12. And when she had sent them home to the owners, they paid her wages and gave her also besides a kid. So work she was doing, they paid her wages, but then they gave her something extra on the side. They gave her a young goat. 13. And when it was in my house and began to cry, I said unto her, from whence is this kid? Is it not stolen? Render it to their owners, for it is not lawful to eat anything that is stolen. So now he's still in a place where he's trying to still be the leader of his home, and he's hearing something like, because he didn't see it come in, and like he saw his wife brought the go home and put it outside somewhere or put it, around. He just started hearing, man, what's that? Hey, baby, is that a goat? Who's this? Oh, that's what I got from work. No, they ain't give you that from work. No, where you get that, man? I told you. I know times is hard, babe. I'm blind and work. I'm trying, but man, we cannot steal. You can't just take stuff and things and man, you get that back. That got to go back now. Nope, we don't need no more, because man, we don't need no judgment from the Most High. We don't need no problems from the Most High. And that's why verse 14. But she replied upon me, it was given for a gift more than the wages. Howbeit, I did not believe her, but bade her render it to the owners. And I was abashed at her. But she replied upon me, where are thine alms and thy righteous deeds? Behold, thou and all thy works are known. This couple argument. Still going. No, I told you, baby, that this was given to me. It wasn't stolen. Nah, you stole it. Because ain't nobody just going to give you a goat. Who going to just give you a goat? You know how much a goat is? How much that's worth? Someone just going to give it to you? I'm blind, but I ain't stupid. Why you always being like that? This is why I get proud. All these other stuff, you burying these people, going out here, get us out of jail. What you got for your good works, huh? What you got for all the good stuff you've been doing? Well, we struggling. That's what we doing. We struggling. That what you want? You happy with that? Can't stand this. This is what, you had that. Then we get to 3 and 1. Then I, being grieved, did weep, and in my sorrow prayed. And now the man crying. Man, do that. Man, I'm hurt. Blind, can't provide for my family. Them things can hurt a man. Just because I can't provide for my family, I'm not able. Can't find a job. I'm trying. trying to take care of my family. It's tough. That can be mentally draining. There's so many things going on there, a lack of understanding. So many things that you can unravel here. Because you got to think about it. So misunderstanding between spouses are common. You know, he did many good things. The conversation, it could have gone a lot better. On one hand, Anna, Tobit's wife, she could have informed her husband when she arrived home that her client employer gave her the goat rather than her husband just finding out about it and it catching him off guard. Could have been done. That's important. Communication. The scriptures speak on that in Hebrew. To do good and communicate, forget not. Because then sometimes these things happen as a result of that. So that way it didn't seem as something done rather in secret. Maybe he's thinking about it. Man, if she brought this, how come she ain't say nothing about it? Perspective. So as a sudden discovery through hearing it, hey, that'd be something that could have alarmed him and like, hey, caused him to believe it was stolen due to it being hidden, that lack of communication, not letting him know. So, because already, his situation element, he's doing even more of what he can to ensure his household is on point righteously, thinking like, man, maybe I am innocent, maybe my household is innocent, maybe this is a judgment on me because I ain't been moving right, and I want to make sure, man, we moving right, especially all the more now, so we don't get hit with more judgment. So it's not personal in the way that I'm attacking you, is making sure that our house is righteous. That's what I'm trying to make sure. You saw he wasn't trying to pick on it. He said, man, like, it's not lawful to eat anything stolen. I'm not trying to get us caught up. I'm not trying to do that. So they weren't in a good financial place. So he didn't put it past her. Because guess what? Times get hard, people start getting tempted. He didn't put it past her. Like, I know that's normally ain't your track record, but hey, desperate times can call for desperate measures. People can go and do things outside of their character. Solomon said it best. Hey, make me neither, too rich, I forget about you and say, who is the Lord, or make me not too poor, because then I got to steal, and then I take your name in vain, because now I'm breaking the law. I'm going against your name, breaking the law. So it's like, man, it happens. She might do that to support her family. She might sneak one time. And so, and you got to consider these things. And had that been taken, she could have processed that better to say, hold on, okay, I can see where he coming from before I overreact. All right, baby, I got you. It's all right. Sometimes let me just accept. Sometimes I have to lose the battle to win the war. All right, my apologies. Even if I know, but he doesn't know. Most High God know, but he doesn't know. So that's what we're dealing with. I got it. I got it. Sometimes it's that. But it's sometimes choosing, let me lose the battle in order to win the war. So then you also have, and it's, of course, like I said, knowing husband's condition and choice of words, she could have refrained from the words she later spoke against him. On the other hand now, Tobias could have responded better instead of quickly reacting. He could have taken the time to truly hear his wife out and consider her words instead of jumping to conclusions and believing and holding on to the idea that it had to have been stolen. That too would have stopped the slippery slope. Look at that, baby. Is this stolen? No, you sure? You ain't take this from nobody. No, I didn't take it, babe. I promise you, I didn't. I did not take this for anybody. Okay, because I just don't want us to get any more trouble. Okay, I'm not trying to take it out on you. I'm just saying I just want to make sure we right. That's it. Can you work with me with that? I can work with you. Okay, that's it. Because mind you, and they were older. Toby got blind at 52 years of age. Taking his wife was somewhere around that vicinity. So And he was blind for 8 years up until he was 60. If you read the story, you'll get that information. So it wasn't like they was 20, 25, or 30, 35. Like, they were older, but you still get in arguments at various age. It's just they never get omitted. It's just they should lessen over time. Do the time and grade, know each other, figure each other out. It happens. So you have these things that happen. And I give other stories. Sometimes you have situations, and I'll give these other couple scenarios. So I won't be able to get to these other couple of things. That's okay, though. You have a situation where, okay, let's take another scenario. This is one that I use in counsel sessions. I call it the boxer brief incident. Man leaves his dirty drawers on the floor. Woman, the wife, complains about them. Girl, he just leave his stuff around and he don't pick up after himself, and I didn't cleaned up. He don't care about what I went through and my sorrows and my toils, and he just grabbed all over everything I did, and just rushed himself right on out of here. So, and it may sound like her husband may lack empathy, care, and consideration of her work efforts, and can seem disrespectful of her husband towards her. Therefore, she's hurt, and in her pain wants to be understood, and so seeks validation and comfort through someone else to try to get that support and feel appreciated and valued for the work that she put in, that someone close to her seemed to have crapped on. That's one side. On the other side, when you talk to the man, if you talk to him, because you just have that side, right? Woman's side. Talk to the man. Like, man, that's not how I felt, man. I was just trying to hurry up, man, get ready for work and get out the house. I thought because she normally clean everything up that, okay, I'm just trying to hurry up and go because I already got written up the one time. We had to take the kids to school. We was running late. I'm not trying to get rolled up again because I only got 3 strikes and then I'm out the door. I already got 1. I got 2 left. I'm not trying to risk it. So I'm just thinking, all right, she gonna hold it down. I know she'll get it together for me so I can prioritize trying to hurry up and get out of here for work. Understandable. But it's only understandable when you hear both sides of the story. Okay, the husband wasn't trying to intentionally do something to disrespect his wife or undermine her work. He was trying to focus on the care and preservation of the family, which is the economic standing. And that hoping the wife would do what was within her job description while he does what's within his. What should be the priority and the focus? Would you rather him risk being late and getting ridden up, which will ultimately lead him losing his job strongly, over some couple of socks and some draw that you could have picked up in a few seconds and put in the dirty clothes, where with everything else that he's doing, even though it could have took him a few seconds, but he's looking at everything he has to do to get ready. I'm not trying to add other things to the clock when already I have to do all these things to get ready. So I'm trying to reduce my time as much as possible. So yeah, my brush may not have been put away. I may have left some of these papers scattered. I may have these little things adding up to where, okay, I can't focus on that right now. I have to focus on this. And can you understand it? Can both of you guys understand the parts you play and how these things played out? That's one that I use to try to get the understanding. Remember, understand first and then rebuke. You got to understand first. May not be a reason to rebuke. I may be mad for nothing or just in my feelings or how I'm perceiving, but I never tried to look to see how the other side was viewing or what their perspective was. Hey, understanding helps bring forth compliance. Now that I understand, all right, I can move accordingly. I just didn't understand before. Another example I give in counsel. So, the credit card incident, grocery store. So, wife, Exhibit A. Girl, what's wrong? And you just tell me about it. What's going on with you? Girl, look, went to the store, right? I unfortunately got embarrassed, had to return all these groceries back. Why you do that for if you already at the register? Just fine. Girl, you know that man don't give me the credit card. Why not? Why you don't trust you? You don't trust me with that. You don't trust you to buy the groceries? That ain't right. You in slavery. I don't know what's up with you and your man. Girl, tell me about it. And you might at first hear that and you might empathize with her now. Yeah, I can find that embarrassing if I have all these groceries at the register and then ringed up, I ain't got enough money. And I got to put all these things back or, all these things I can't buy. And then it's like 1/3 or 2/3 thing I got to put back. That can be embarrassing. Can agree. Can put myself in that situation, empathize with that and see, okay, that could be embarrassing. It could be avoided if, the credit card or debit card, those things can be shared so that way that can be done. Exhibit A. Exhibit B. Talk back to the husband to find out why you don't let her use the credit card, debit card? Oh, cause look, listen, Dina, cause she told you that, right? Yeah, she told. I'm over hearing this. Like, what is wrong with you? Come on, Dad. Like, look, listen. I told this woman a few months ago. Cause you remember we took that vacation, right? Yeah, y'all went over to. Yeah, okay. I told her, if we take this vacation, we can't spend and buy all that stuff like we used to. All them extra snacks and all the extra dessert, all that. Like, man, we can't do all that the same. We got to cut back. So I'd rather it's not. So we ain't got to do that. I know you like that stuff, but I'm willing to go on a vacation. But then that's the trade-off. I told her that. You told her that? Yeah, I told her that. Then why? Because look, I told her, and then the problem when we got back, she didn't honor it. So she still kept going over. So I said, nope, we can't do this. Give me the credit card. There we go. You take the cash. Whatever you got right there, that's what you got to spend it on. It can't go over that. Anything else you got to put back. Man, she made it seem like she ain't tell me all that. Then that's what I'm saying. That's what I told her. So but again, she feels some way, but I gave her the options. That's how she feels. So now, you hearing those things, you can learn that, oh, snap. Okay, now I got to analyze this a little differently. I got to look at this a little differently. That happens, okay? This is why you need to hear scenarios and things like this. This is why even then, too, as a judge or a counselor, you can't just run with one side of the story for anybody, especially when you're formally sitting on counsels and judgment or formally hearing situations. And when you are just hearing one side, you only say, look, I haven't heard both sides, so I can only speak on, according to this, what I can advise you to do. But the counsel is going to be limited because the information is limited. Do you accept? All right, yeah, so according to this, all right, this is how you move. But I don't know these things, so I can't deal with that until I find that out. There's different case scenarios. Some people might just want, hey, give me some advice or counsel on these things, informal counsel. I'm like, hey, this is why I can tell you according to this, but I can't speak on these because I don't know these things. I haven't talked to this party yet or his individuals yet. So this is what I can say as far as pertaining to this, but that can change. There you go. So now, another scenario. Man husband told his wife various things he wanted to be done, expected to be done by the time he got home. Comes home, things ain't done. Upset. Goes off on the wife, starts rebuking, upbraiding, hopefully not, maybe even cussing out. Man, you been home, you ain't did this ain't done, and man, this just ain't what, this laws ain't bathroom ain't clean. What you been doing all day? You know that big one. What you been doing all day? May not have considered how the day went. Didn't ask. Jumped straight to rebuke. Didn't examine first, went straight to rebuke. You say all that, then she may open up, may be upset, may be sad, may break down crying. Day was rough, baby. The baby wouldn't stop crying. I'm trying to coddle him, and then other kid made a mess, got into the chair, got in the cabinet, threw everything out. The other baby had diapered and blew up the bath. The sheets had to be washed. That's why I couldn't get glad to wash all the sheets. This had to be done, and you're hearing that there were various interjections, various interruptions that caused the original plan to be delayed. So where I may have had this list of things to do that in a normal day may have been reasonable, that's if it's reasonable, because that's another side of things, which we'll table for now and get back to. But these other things happen that took time away from the main task, because now I had to do all these side missions. Couldn't even do the main task because all these side missions came up that had to be prioritized before this main task. So that became prerequisite task that I can't do that until I do this. That's why we behind. Dinner wasn't made, didn't wash dishes. Didn't wash dishes because baby had a blowout. So had to wash baby, had to wash the clothes, set me back considerably. And as I'm focused on that, other kid got into these things, made mess of these things. Now I got to clean that up and put that back. That's why I got falling behind. Now you hearing that, now you humbled. I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Of course you didn't know. You weren't there. So someone can try not to take it personal, but it can still be taken very much so personally. Because I know in my mind, you weren't there. You weren't there. You didn't see it. You didn't know. You just had the expectation. You came in with the expectation. So pray and hope that in the future, okay. And pray and hope we can admit as a man, hey, I'm sorry. Next time I'll do better to ask or inquire and see. Get an idea. Sometimes you may have that. Sometimes you may ask. I may do that. I may call my wife in before work or after, see what's on the agenda for the day or what may have been done so I can see, okay, I want to ask her to do this. She already has enough on her plate as it is. I'll ask her tomorrow. Or, I'll remind her to do this because I want her to prioritize this. I'll see, okay, how things went. Now at the end, all right, cool. I think she might still be able to do it. Nah, you know what? Next time, you get a gauge. You do that. Get an idea. Okay, all right, that's enough. I'll let you go. So you can handle the other things you need to do. So, and I'm not holding you up if, things may be a busier day. So, or let it be known, okay, I said what I need to say. It's important. Now I just like your company. Now I just want to talk to you in general. You may have that. So, but I have to be fair and know that, okay, I can't do that all the time. So, because she had things to do, and then I can't get upset if the things ain't done because I'm playing part and holding her up. Especially if you work 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, hour away or more. So, you have to take part in that too. So, But nevertheless, I will end it here. Dang, way over time. So pray all these things went through, but I did want to get those things in and still had a little bit left. And um, you know, other thing would be, well, we'll leave it there. As always, more teaching the things that come up, more scenarios and stories. But pray these things allowed you to get a good idea of seeking first to understand before you rebuke, moving with empathy, and understanding in how you deal with brothers and sisters, congregants, leaders, from congregant to leader, leader to congregants, and just whatever, and just even on your job, same thing, co-workers, friends, family, just allow these things, these fruits to go with you, okay? With that being said, like, share, subscribe, for these things you're online watching, so it can help others learn these things to be better and do better, okay? And be a better version of themselves, a more righteous version of themselves. But I'm Brother Yatai, Bishop of Sound Faith Ministries, and with that, I say shalom.